Thank you, Heidi, for having me. Just very quickly, we are a joint powers authority formed in '94 to meet the requirements of AB 939, which, as we all know, snuck in a little household hazardous waste elements, or all of us good recyclers got stuck with hazardous waste. 7 cities, 10 special districts in the county, and I report to 13 elected officials. So people can understand that if you're in government. What a joy. Mandatory retail take-back. We've kind of led the state and the nation in that. We did our first ordinance back in March. Sharps, May 2008. Why? Because the state law had passed that said as of September 1st, 2008, you can't throw sharps in the landfill. We've done a latex paint one the following year, and last year, actually 2 years ago now, we did the thermostat ordinance. Why mandatory take-back? What we found with our first project funded by Cal Recycle Grant is that nobody wanted to sign up to take batteries or fluorescent tubes. We must have had 3 or 4 calls to Home Depot, to Lowe's. We just couldn't get anybody to volunteer, and that's when it was free. And we knew when it became a cost, they would drop out. And with sharps, it was even worse because of the ick factor. You know, nobody wants to take sharps from the public. So we decided to go mandatory. Convenient to the public. If every pharmacy is in the program, there's not a question of who's in, who's out. It does reduce our costs for managing household hazardous waste. I guess one of the good or bad sides is we never saw a lot of sharps at our 5 household hazardous waste facilities. People were just not bringing them to us. And the other thing is this is a program that can be implemented on a local level. We don't have to wait for the state to act, and we know how long and frustrating that can be to wait on. Program requirements: a retailer must accept sharps for free if they sold those sharps to the consumer, if they're selling the consumer sharps, or 2-quart sharp containers per week per person. So essentially, anybody that walks into a pharmacy that's a resident of our county can get rid of their sharps at no cost. This is real important. Retailers must have the appropriate signage within 5 feet of the entrance, basically saying they're a sharps take-back location. We see it as education. Without that in the law, I guarantee you 75% of the stores would not have it. There has to be a convenient location within the store. You can't have the sharps containers somewhere in a closet. With sharps, it's not as big an issue. With the other products, it was a much bigger issue. And there has to be an appropriate receptacle for the container. This is what our window sticker looks like. One of the things we recognized was that retailers aren't in the business of taking stuff back. We had to make their lives easy. Instead of just requiring a sticker and saying, go out and find it, you know, and buy it, we provided them because it was easy. We printed off a roll of a couple hundred, and when we'd walk into a store, we'd say, we've got the sticker for you. It's required. We'll put it in the window. We also gave them brochures. Here's our free containers. Very important, it says right on the container, return full container to the San Luis Obispo pharmacy of your choice for free disposal. Don't need a lot of education, it's on the container. And it also says, state law prohibits disposal of sharps into garbage or recycling bins. We didn't want to put them in the recycling bin, so we put both in English and Spanish. You know, it's right there. We provide them to the pharmacies, so they have an incentive to give them to the people buying sharps for free. And you know, once you get something free, you kind of feel like you need to use it. So that's really our education. We also gave the pharmacies these 38-gallon containers to put these in. And we told the pharmacies, if someone doesn't bring a sharps in an approved container, give them one, tell them to go outside the store, transfer them, come back in, and get rid of them, you know, at that point. Do not be handling loose sharps at the pharmacies. And we figure the pharmacists were really the best trained people, and they know that anyway, but we just tried to make it really clear with them. On those containers in the pharmacies is the number to call for collection. Again, no loose needles, very clear. We do offer collection service. It's a fee-based service that's optional for retailers. They don't have to use us, obviously. As you can see, we charge $40 for a collection. So if we come to your store, we charge you flat 40 bucks. Okay, if you have sharps, and right here, 38-gallon sharps container, it's $20. So if you have 2 of them, it'd be 40. So now you're up to $80. If you have batteries, if you have tubes, whatever you have, you know, a lot of the big stores like a Target can have all these products. So it becomes cost effective because there's that one-time $40 fee when we show up plus the actual cost. Worst case scenario, we're going to charge you $60 to show up at your pharmacy to pick up a 38-gallon container of these. And if there's 50 or 60 of those in there, that works out to what? $1 a container. So it's a pretty reasonably cost program for the pharmacies. There is program oversight. We try and do a routine visit every 3 to 6 months. You'd be amazed at how often those stickers come off the window. Oh, you know, they washed the windows. They did. Every other sticker's still on there, but ours, for some reason, came off. So we'll give them another sticker, and you know. This is our little enforcement little thing that says, you know, are there appropriate signs? You know, is there a convenient location? On and on and on. So if we show up and there's not, we'll check no, write a little note, give them a form, because then it looks like, you know, we're official. You've been warned, right? Well, we've never fined anybody in the whole history of the program. We found by doing this, it kind of makes it a little more serious on their part, and they take it a little more seriously, and they have a less likelihood of, you know, being in continual violation. And if we ever did have somebody that was always, you know, not participating, we'd have an ability to come back. So the results, 47 sharps locations, about 1 million sharps through March of last year, last time I added it up. Again, what's made it really successful is it's easy for the retailers. They're basically shelling out $60. We do everything else. We'll pick it up. They call us. We'll give them window stickers. And it's very easy for the public. You know, they get free containers, instructions right on there. So it seems to work really well. And finally, there's our contact information. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer. Yeah, Jeffrey.
You'll have to repeat the question.
The stores pay a fee to have the sharps picked up, so that probably covers that cost. Where does the money for the free containers come from?
The free containers were part of the grant. We bought 60,000 of them, and we still have 20, 30,000 left. We've decided that, you know, originally we were going to make the stores buy them, but I don't want the stores selling them for $3, $4, $5. So I think once these containers are gone, we'll just continue to purchase them, because we use 15 or 20,000 containers a year at $1.40 each. That's $30,000, whatever. We think that's probably a reasonable cost. You know, it's education. Everybody has the same containers, and we think it helps keep the retailers semi-happy to be participating in this mandatory program. Yeah.
We're only going to be able to take one more question, and then we're going to have to move to the next
And then,
one.
yeah, grab me at the break. I'd be happy to answer anything.
Are those containers reusable?
I don't think so. I mean, they
The
are
question was,
recyclable.
are the containers reusable? Yeah.
Oh,
So-
are the containers reusable? I mean, once they're full of sharps, they go off to Stericycle's our vendor, and I think they probably incinerate them or do something. Yeah. So no, they're really, you need to, you know, once you lock it, it can't be opened. You give it to the pharmacist. It's got your sharps in it, and then off it goes for disposal at that point.